Welcome back to the deep dive. So you brought in some really fascinating sources this time connecting entrepreneurship and, well, journaling.
Yeah, that's right. And the idea, our mission today, is to really dig into how using a journal intentionally, something like a Lestallion journal, which came up in the sources, how that can actually, help someone on their entrepreneurial journey.
Right, not just like scribbling notes, but using it strategically.
Exactly. We want to see how it fits in, organizing thoughts, maybe tracking goals, reflecting, that kind of stuff. The sources touched on general benefits, but also some specific Lestallion features that apparently make it pretty good for this.
Okay. And I noticed the sources definitely acknowledge the sheer stress involved in being an entrepreneur, that feeling of being pulled in a million directions.
Oh, absolutely. Overwhelm, confusion, it's almost part of the job description sometimes, isn't it?
Totally. And the idea is that journaling can be a kind of anchor, a structured space to deal with that chaos.
Precisely. Like one source put it, it's an extension of your entrepreneurial toolkit. I quite liked that phrasing.
Yeah, me too. It's
Yeah,
not just for, diary entries about your day. It's about boosting creativity, managing stress, becoming more productive.
exactly. It's an active tool.
Okay, so let's talk about that overwhelm, that feeling where you have so much to do, you just freeze. Procrastination kicks in. How does writing in a journal actually help cut through that?
Well, it's kind of about getting it out of your head.
Yeah.
When you're overwhelmed, your thoughts are just swirling around this big jumbled mess.
Oh,
Writing it down forces you to, untangle it. You take this huge, scary project and break it down. Step one, step two. Suddenly, it doesn't seem quite so massive.
right. It makes it manageable. It's less daunting.
Exactly. It clears the mental clutter. And when your head's clearer, you can actually focus, make better decisions.
And this is where maybe the specific journal comes in,
Hmm.
like the Lestallion features you mentioned.
Yeah, I think so. For example, having, 211 pages and thick paper, 120 GSM. That means you've got room. You're not going to feel cramped trying to map things out.
Oh, ample space.
And the built-in table of contents, that's pretty smart for an entrepreneur, right? You're juggling ideas, projects.
Oh, definitely. Instead of flipping through, desperately trying to find that one note.
Exactly. You can index your thoughts, find stuff easily. It makes the journal way more useful, not just a dumping ground.
Yeah, that makes sense. I actually have a friend, Sarah, who started an online course business. She was completely swamped, just paralyzed by all the steps.
Uh-huh. Been there.
She started using a Lestallion, specifically because of that table of contents, actually. She broke down her course modules, marketing tasks, everything, into sections she could easily find.
Yeah.
Just writing it down, organizing it like that, made it feel doable, and she actually launched.
See? That's a perfect example. Turning that chaos into a planned structure helps.
Okay, what about goals? Setting clear goals is obviously huge for entrepreneurs. How does journaling play into that, beyond just writing them down once?
Well, writing them down is powerful. It makes them feel more real, less like a vague wish.
True.
But the journal, used consistently, becomes a tool for tracking. You're not just setting the goal, you're recording your steps towards it. You see what's working, what's not, you can adjust your strategy.
So it builds accountability, like
Right.
you're checking in with yourself.
Exactly. You hold yourself accountable through those regular entries, you reframe setbacks, you see the progress.
And the Lestallion features support this too, I imagine, like the lines and numbered pages.
Yeah, the 7.5 millimeter lines give you enough space to actually write properly, detail your goals and steps without it being messy, structure, but not too rigid.
Okay.
And the numbered pages work perfectly with that table of contents again. You can dedicate sections, maybe pages 1020 for Q1 goals, 2130 for marketing ideas. You get the picture.
Right, you create your own system.
Plus that back pocket handy for keeping related notes, maybe business cards from contacts, things like that. It all helps keep your goal-related stuff organized in one place.
I remember my uncle, he started a small consulting gig. He used the numbered pages in his Lestallion exactly like that. Sections for short-term goals, long-term vision, potential clients filed in the back pocket. He said reviewing those written goals kept him going, especially during the slow startup phase.
That's it. It keeps the goal front and center. Even when things get tough, that constant reminder is key.
Okay, so organization, goals.
Mm-hmm.
What about creativity? Entrepreneurship needs that spark, right? Coming up with new ideas, solving problems. Can journaling help there too?
Oh, definitely. I think it's one of the maybe less obvious benefits. A journal gives you a safe space to just play with ideas.
Like brainstorming on paper.
Yeah, exactly. Free association, mind mapping, asking what-if questions. There's no judgment. Writing encourages that free flow, helps you spot patterns you might miss otherwise. You can get unstuck.
And does the journal itself influence that? The Lestallion, for instance.
I think the quality aspects help foster it. Good paper, like that 120 GSM stuff, just feels nice to write or even sketch on. It invites you to use it.
Right. It doesn't feel like a cheap notebook you're afraid to waste.
Exactly. And ample space means you're not mentally constrained. Even, the soft faux leather cover, it sounds minor. But having a tool that feels good, looks inspiring, can actually make you want to sit down and think creatively. And it needs to be sturdy if you're using it all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know a graphic designer, Emily. She hit a massive creative block on a project.
Oh.
She started using her Lestallion, but not for notes, just for doodling, free writing, random thoughts, away from the computer screen pressure. And she said just putting pen to paper like that, totally unstructured, helped her stumble onto a whole new design concept that worked brilliantly.
That's exactly it. A low-pressure space for exploration, that's where breakthroughs can happen.
Okay, so we've got overwhelm, goals, creativity. What about tracking progress? And importantly, celebrating the wins. It's easy to forget how far you've come.
So important for motivation and resilience. The journal is your logbook. It shows the journey.
The ups and the downs.
Precisely. And when you regularly look back, even at small steps forward you noted down, it builds the sense of accomplishment. It proves you are moving even when it feels slow. It refuels you.
And again, the Lestallion structure helps here. Numbered pages, ample space.
Yeah, the numbered pages make it easy to reference past entries, to literally see the timeline of your progress. You can dedicate pages to tracking key metrics or just noting down daily or weekly wins, big or small. The layout encourages that review.
I have another friend, Ben, who is learning web development on the side. Tough grind.
Oh, yeah.
He used his journal to track practice hours, new functions he learned, little coding problems he solved. He said looking back at those small daily entries was what kept him going, because he could see tangible progress over weeks and months.
It makes the invisible progress visible, and that's incredibly powerful for keeping momentum.
So pulling it all together then, we've talked journaling benefits, and we keep coming back to how the Lestallion's specific features seem to amplify those benefits for an entrepreneur.
I think that's a fair way to put it. It's the combination, isn't it? Durable enough for daily use, the table of contents and numbered pages for serious organization, quality paper that encourages writing, the pocket for extras.
And you mentioned prompts. Some have space for those.
Yeah, apparently some versions include space for prompts, which can be great if you're stuck on where to start with reflecting on challenges or brainstorming. It shows they've really thought about the user's needs. It's designed for this kind of active use.
So it's really moving beyond just task tracking, isn't it? It sounds like it helps cultivate the actual mindset needed for business success.
That's a really crucial point. It's not just about logistics. Consistent journaling fosters self-awareness. You understand your thought patterns, your triggers, your strengths better.
Self-discovery.
Yeah, and building emotional resilience. You process setbacks privately, learn from them. You connect more deeply with your purpose, your why. It helps you tackle self-doubt and keep your actions aligned with your big vision.
Wow. Okay, so this deep dive really paints a picture of journaling, especially with a well-suited tool like the Lestallion. It's much more than just note-taking.
Yeah.
It's a strategic partner.
I think so. Organization, clearer goals, boosted creativity, tracking progress, and fundamentally shaping that resilient, focused, entrepreneurial mindset. The right journal facilitates all of that.
It becomes an ally in growth.
Well said. Exactly.
This has been really illuminating, really highlights how powerful that simple act of writing can be when it's done intentionally.
Absolutely.
So a final thought for everyone listening. Consider how dedicating just maybe 5 or 10 minutes each day to journaling could potentially unlock that next level of clarity, that next stage of growth in your business. What's one small step you could take today to start documenting your own journey?